But Acropolis, an interesting choice of map from the Terran, as it is widely considered to be Zerg favored. It's very open, especially toward the middle. You can run Hellions in through here, kind of get a siege going, but it's not a very good choke on the Zerg third. And then, of course, the Zerg can grab this fourth right here, which is pretty defensible as well for the Swarm race. So far, the Platinum Heroes and Risen trading blows 1-1. Mumble's going down for Risen. Tahen building a CC on the high ground, a very safe opener. Perhaps worried about some cheese from Perfect. Gonna send out the Reaper. Perfect. With the 4 defensive lings, should deflect this. Dance back and forth has begun. Oh, Queen goes for an inject rather than a creep tumor. Could this indicate a 2-base play out of Perfect? Tahen throws down a factory, reactor on the barracks, and a starport. Alright. Alright. It's gonna get an Overlord as well. This is a really great start for the Terran. Perfect is gonna get his third up. Energy on the Queen for the creep tumor. Second Hellion coming out for Tahen. Moving out the CC. About the 4-minute mark. Tech Lab on the barracks. Intriguing. Intriguing. Hellion production has stopped. Trying to figure out what Tahen's built here. Okay, he is going to lift off. Factory on the tech. Is it? Okay, second factory on the Tech Lab. This should be standard mech then. Perfect, getting Overlord speed. Ten drones on the way. Viking not gonna find any exposed Overlords. And there is speed as well. Third CC started up for Tahen. And there's the fusion core. Okay. No, it's not a fusion core, it's an armory. This is gonna be a Hellbat push? Like, what? It's already 520. Lair, Baneling Nest, finished for the Red Zerg. Viking does get an Overlord kill. Perfect has another one positioned to scout, but it's just waiting to see if there's a third. Siege tank coming out of the factory. Tahen set up for a Hellbat push, but Reaper going in for a scout. Perfect going for a 6-minute fourth. Not really defensive units to speak of, not an insanely high queen count either, but he does have banelings. And a lot of transfuse. Hellions going in. 15 drones about to pop. Only 8 lings. Baneling speed only halfway finished as well. Tahen waiting for the lib. Gonna siege up on the mineral line as the Hellions push in, but they're not morphed into Hellbats yet. Gonna go behind the mineral line. A lot of drones will go down here. Ling Bane. Oh, huge Baneling connections! Queen does go down to the Liberator. 6 drones lost in the engagement. But Perfect defends. He cleans up. He's gonna get that 4th base established. And he's up 10 workers. Tahen has the ball back in his court. He needs to get some kind of damage done. He's going for +1 vehicle weapons on the armory, getting out a couple Hellions as well. Triple siege tank at the front. Third CC moving to location. Liberator is down to 1/3 of its health. Oh, doesn't go for the drone kills. Wants to save its life. It's going to try and reposition at the 4th. But shouldn't be able to get sieged up. 1 shot away from annihilation. There it goes. It's going to be a Banshee follow-up from the Blue Terran. Cloak about halfway finished. I'd like to acknowledge as well, I could have my information incorrect, but I believe Perfect has received coaching from the Platinum Heroes as well. They offer a lot of great services to the StarCraft community. They have a really well curated organization. No toxicity. They're a great community, so if you're from Risen, I would check out their Discord. I'm sure Papa Panda can link that in the chat. They also provide tournaments, for money tournaments for Plat players as well as Diamond players. They have a couple coming up, as well as an Archon tournament happening next weekend, actually. So definitely check them out. Oh no, a bunch of SCVs are right-clicked onto a mule. Oh no. Oh, so Tahen down 8 workers and also with about 6 SCVs just pretending to work, right? They're just following around the guy that's working and sipping coffee and gossiping, so it looks like they're all working. Are gonna go back to mining. Tahen grabs a 5th and 6th gas. Hyperflight rotors on the way, so as well as the 2 starports, but Tahen not really producing additional Banshees. Both players getting really close to max out, given their production. We should see it in the next minute or so. Though Perfect needs a lot of Overlords to make that happen. Tahen with the supply depots out already to rocket up to 200 supply. Festation Pit is up. Oh, it's a huge morphin of Banelings. Could devastate these Hellbats, but the siege tank count also really high, and that does counter Ling Bane Hydra. As long as he can zone out, I mean, there's a supply depot wall here. There is a little bit of a weak spot here, but he's going to eat a lot of tank shots if he wants to go on the attack, and it looks like he does. I don't know about this from the Zerg. He has a lot of creep spread. He has his 4th up and running. He needs to grab these gases, keep taking expansions to fight against this mech. Oh, Lings coming in a column. A couple Hellions do go down, but a lot of Lings dead. That was the meat shield for these Hydras, for these Banelings, and Perfect, wisely, I think, going to back off. Banshees do pop their cloak, though. That means they're going to run out of energy, at least 2 of them. This 3rd one's going to be cloaked for a while, as that energy slowly ticks down. Perfect is going into Hive Tech, getting up Aspire to move into Broodlords. Tahen The double starport continues to pump out Banshee, getting a third one as well. Tanks coming out. Fourth base started up for the Tahen. I think both players have the right idea here, right? Perfect can get up into Vipers, start picking off this tank count. Oh, these Banshees are going to get a cancel on Perfect's fit. Oh, Tahen! They get the kill, actually, on the 5th base of Perfect. Perfect, meanwhile, taking the opportunity to attack, but all those Banelings go down to tank shots, and Perfect down to 53 army supply to 100. Hydras doubling it back home. Queen goes down. This 4th base under threat from the Banshees. Ling Hydra moves in.
Meow.
Thank you so much for the follow-up, Crypt. Banshees picking off Queens. So much energy on these guys for Cloak. Perfect. Trying to head back towards Remax, but Tahen almost there, producing Banshees 3 at a time. Perfect! Make Vipers! Make Vipers! Make Corruptors! There is a Spire on the field for the Zergs, so that's definitely a possibility. Tahen building a CC on location. A lot of these tanks are on siege. 2 of them go down before the siege up, but 3 of them is too much for these Hydras to engage. Hellbats pushing forward. Banshee's dealing damage from the sky. And Perfect is reset once again. I mean, he has 38 army supply, but a lot of that is in Queens. Okay, 2 Banshees do go down for the Tahen. Cloak is wearing off. This guy's finally out of energy, but there's enough to still directly engage the Hydras. Oh my god, the Overseer's going down to the missile turret. Perfect has 6,000 minerals and 3,500 gas in the bank, but continuing to produce Hydra. He has a Spire. He's not going for greater Spire. There's no Ling speed or Ling attack speed on the way. Going to morph in some more Banelings, but Tahen securing this 4th base location, building a new CC on there. He has additional orbitals in the natural as well. There's a lot of energy on these guys to mule out that 4th once it's complete, and a ton of missile turrets going up. This Hellbat tank dies to anything air. A lot of missile turrets to shore up that defense, but Perfect needs Broodlords. The Greater Spire finally started up. He needs to buy time. He's going on the attack, though. The Radar Tower is going to see this. The tanks are going to be sieged up by the time this hits. The first wave of Zerglings absolutely demolished. The Banelings trailing in behind without the Zerglings to tank the damage. Tahen going for another orbital. Banshees running toward the main. They could pick off the Greater Spire. That would be absolute death for Perfect. He does see them. They are on creep. There goes the Cloak. Perfect running his units to respond, but there's so much firepower from the Banshees. They're going to tag onto the Queen first. Precious seconds. They could be focusing down tech. They're going to go after the Infestation Pit. The Hydras are here. 2 Overseers not totally morphed yet, though. They pick off the Infestation Pit, but that's not what they need to be going after. Only some damage on one of the Banshees. That is a nice pick all told. But not gaming in. Game-ending damage for Perfect. Tahen picking off Queens. Only half health on this 4th base. They could go for it. They're going to choose not to. 5th base. 4th base. Perfect reestablishing his 5th. The Banshees do get the scout on it. A Tahen with so much economy. Both players with massive banks. Perfect. Finally getting 8 Corruptors at the 16-minute mark. +2 Carapace, +2 melee. started up for perfect. Tahen getting into upgrades as well with that +3 vehicle attack and +2 armor. A lot of Hellbats do go down here. Tahen, at this point, these units are free for him though. He's going to do another run by toward the top. Be interested to see if he goes into the drone line or goes after this 5th. Looks like it's going to be a Hellbat attack on the 5th. Perfect is angling to attack this 3rd location. A little bit indecisive, is going to roll to try and defend the 5th. There's just such a bank here for the Zerg. 8 Broodlords morphing in. This could actually go either way. I do favor the Tahen at this point, but if the Zerg spends his bank, it's going to be unstoppable. If Infestor Broodlord hits the field with this much creep, I mean, Tahen's pushing the creep back. He's doing what he needs to do. It looks like both players' nerves have worn out. Broodlords pick off a lot of the Hellions, but again, basically free units at this point as 6k minerals in the bank for the Tahen. A lot of Liberators on the field, though, but a lot of Hydralisks as well. Some Spores could move to the front for perfect. Tahen moving the Banshees back towards the main. A lot of drones not mining for perfect as well. Liberators unsiege. Hydras are going to move forward, but the Libs get a lot of shots off. Planetaries putting in work, the siege tanks as well. Broodlords, Vikings, Liberators, dealing a dance of death. A lot of these Broodlords very low health. Looks like Tahen's gonna go for it. Pushes forward. Planetary heavily damaged but not dead. Oh, the Hydras walk into the tank fire! In the meantime, the Banshees do pick off the Greater Spire, are going to pick off the Baneling Nest. Perfect. Making 12 Hydralisks. All the Broodlords have gone down, and there's not going to be more for some time. Again, perfect with 5,000 minerals. 8,000. Oh no! Perfect calls GG. And Tahen takes a second victory for the Platinum Heroes.